What's up, you guys? In this trade video, we are going to go over my trade on the QQQ along with Microsoft, where I made a little over $14,000 in my portfolio today. So we're going to cover that trade, and we're going to look at why and how I traded the position with entries, where I added and where I exited. And as well as that, I'm going to go over a little bit of tips and tricks for Thinkorswim and for any platform, but we're going to look at my platform on Thinkorswim and see how I set my alerts. And this should be pretty helpful, along with the time and sales data and my ticker chart setup, and showing you how I use the ticker chart in tandem with the 3-minute candles, the 5-minute candles, and the 1-minute candles. So 144 ticker chart is what we're going to be looking at in this video. I do have other ticker charts which we'll cover in a later video, but stay tuned for more. And give this video a like, subscribe to my channel for more content like I just covered in this intro, and stay tuned for even better content that's going to be coming down the pike. Without further ado, let's take a look at this trade that made me a ton of money today.
Okay, so QQQ rejecting that high of the day. I'll go look at Apple. Apple's curling over. Microsoft rejecting. Alright, looking good. Alright, so this position is looking a lot better.
So right now, what I'm doing is I am evaluating whether or not this is going to be bouncing off of VWAP or not. The VWAP is looking really quite weak, especially with confirmation from the other technology stocks that I'm looking at. Overall, the market's really weak. This is because of the Evergrande event in China. China is looking pretty weak. Like there's could be some systemic risk in the system, which will continue to weigh on Chinese equities, and in turn it appears that equities in the US are going to suffer as well. So we are playing the weakness in the marketplace, and especially in the overvalued and hypersensitive technology and growth sector indicated by the QQQ here. And what we're seeing is it breaking down off of VWAP. It's getting more volatile as it bounces off of the VWAP. It looks like it is going to set a lower low, or a lower high, I mean to say, and that this is going to reject, and that is what happens. We do ride these QQQ puts, as we'll see here. It'll break down off of the support that we have drawn in off of the Fibonacci extension, or I should say the Fibonacci retracement drawn in on the yellow dashed line. So we're seeing slow breakdown, and I am indicating to the community that I added to my position here. I made sure I actually didn't show that I have, but I have Goldman Sachs also pulled up on the other screen, and it's looking also very weak, so I'm playing a position on that as well. Should pull up a chart on that in a moment, but we see Microsoft leading the QQQ down at this moment. And this position continues to break down very, very nicely. We have an ideal setup for continued breakdown off of the low of the day that was set at the very start of the day. That's my next target for breakdown. So just indicating to the community that Microsoft is about to break down. Microsoft looks even almost worse than the QQQ. Everything's looking really bad at this point. It's one of the worst days in the market for a lot of the traders in the community, and for a lot of new traders to begin with. This is maybe one of the worst days that I've seen as a professional trader. I've definitely seen worse, but this is definitely up there. So definitely a good day to play puts. All right, and as you can see, from the screen, scalping in and out of all of these positions on Microsoft, QQQ, Tesla, Goldman Sachs, just a really, really, really solid red day all around. Lots of weakness. These little jolts up, these little fake outs, these candles, that last green candle didn't even phase me in the slightest. I was so locked in on these puts today. Right now I'm looking to add to this position on a confirmation of breakdown of Microsoft and QQQ. I'll also look at Apple. Apple's looking pretty much the same. Microsoft was pulling a lot of weight earlier, so I'm gonna take a look at that. Keep my eyes on that for now. Do have Tesla and Goldman Sachs on this screen, so I'm trading these as well. So we're basically getting a microscopic view of the every single order that's placed. So this is a bar indicating orders, not order size, but actual orders. So after 144 orders are placed, one candle's produced, which the different sizes of orders is what creates the different sizes of the candles. So every time an order is filled on this time in sales here, we're seeing a tick happen on this chart right here. And as we produce the bars, we are getting a more in-depth scope of what the price action is looking like versus the time candles. We're looking at what happened in this time range. What we're looking at here is what happened within those orders. So we're getting kind of a better view of the time and sales in essence. We're getting a TTM squeeze here on the QQQ, a lot of weakness already built in, which just gives us a stronger short position on this bear flag formation. We do have room all the way down to 363.60 as indicated in the community today, and we will see if we get to that target. 364 is actually what I called out in the group for a easy target. If we get to there, we could see down to 362, 361.60 on that 161.80 Fibonacci retracement, or extension I should say. So we'll see. This looks like a great trade though, so still sticking with it. In and out scalping on these little moves. This is a great position to add to at this moment. So I did just add back into my scalp for the breakdown. On the breakdown, I will sell and look for a re-entry on the pullback up. Setting my alerts so that if I take my eyes off for just a moment and things change, I can be sure to get back to the chart. So it's a great practice to be in. Now I'm up 5% on a large size position, so I'm going to scale out just a little bit, take some of my profits off, even though this probably will break down some more, just in case we do reverse a little bit more up. I don't want to be in a position where I'm losing, even if that means I'm cutting off some of my profits on the downside by closing out part of the position. I'm not going to risk a ton of capital when it looks like it could make a little jolt back up to this 365.50 and retest. So, and look what it did there. So again, I'm just out. I closed out the remaining position there on the scalp, and I was profitable because I closed out 2/3 of it before the other third of it broke even. So 365.20 is just another one of the strong resistance points. 365.20, 365.08 would be great. We're looking for now a bounce down off of 366, potential rejection off of the resistance there. 366.50 above that, 366.90 or 367 I should say, is where the VWAP is going to be around that same time frame. And with those price levels and the strength that we're gaining back in the QQQ at this moment on the trade, I'll be closing out of the trade and looking to reopen the position below that level of weakness that I indicated at 365.20. And for now, I'll step away from all of my day trades and I will look for more opportunities later on in the afternoon. Thanks a lot for watching.